Welcome to the channel, guys. It's been a while. Behind me is my 1991 Corvette C4 that I bought super cheap. The cheapest running and driving example of one that I could find. Now this car has its fair share of problems, and some of them have already been documented. If you know anything about Corvettes, or especially C4 Corvettes, then you might have seen this before. You can see how this has been damaged. But this damage comes from the windshield wiper coming over too far, hitting this enough metal to metal and scraping it and damaging it. It's a very simple fix that we'll go through today, but it is a little bit different on this Corvette versus how you'd fix it on other cars. So first we're going to look at the screen. This is an access port that accesses the bolts that you'll need to turn to adjust this windshield wiper. When these things are at rest, this should be touching right here. I've already fixed this one, which we'll show in video here in a second. But if you haven't fixed it, this will probably be up a little bit, which is causing too much movement all the way out. Now, as you can see, there's another problem. As I'm going to rectify the wiper blade situation, I opened the hood and there's a lake in my cowl. Now, that's bad for a million reasons. I'm sure y'all can figure those out. But I can say to adjust the wiper blade, you can access this little port right here. And that's just a little piece of plastic that clips out. And you see those two bolts right there. You can adjust those bolts, and you can see they're slid all the way one way, which is too far. You loosen those bolts and adjust that rod that goes over to the, I wouldn't say the motor's right there. It goes over to the actuator, and adjust that rod out to where it doesn't travel as far left or right. You can't adjust the arm because you can see it's keyed. So I'll show that here in a minute, but first I've got to figure out where the stop is for this water. This water's here because there's obviously a drain, and the drain's obviously stopped up, and all this needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to get to cleaning. I'm going to suck this water out with a wet dry vac, and I'm going to see if I can figure out where this water is collecting from, or where the drain is plugged at. The main drain is easy to find. It was right there, and you might be able to see the hose coming out from under there. The hose just goes straight down and dumps into the engine bay there, drops to the ground. Dug it out with a screwdriver, blew it out with some compressed air, and now that drain should be fine. The one that I assume is on this side is going to be a little bit harder to figure out. There has to be one though, because there's a high spot here, which means water can collect there or there. It's collecting in both areas. The other side wasn't holding water, so I got to assume that the drain over there is fine. All right, so you can get to the tube for the final drain on this side without having to go up by that windshield washer or windshield wiper. So all I did was just took some compressed air, spray up in the tube, get it there, and blew out all the gunk. It should drain fine now. This grate is held in with 4 screws, but it's also caulked in there with some caulking, some kind of glue caulking. So I'll probably put a little bit of that back on it, but I will put it on for right now, just screw it down, clean up the rest of the grate. I will go ahead and adjust that rod and fix my windshield wipers. These are 10mm nuts. Once you loosen them, you can see I can then adjust this bar, and it changes the position of the little cog, that the little keyway that you put your arm on. So in this case, this is pushed all the way that way. This is the position that it was in. I want it to be further this way. Number one, it wasn't coming to rest here like it should, and number two, it was going too far this way. So I want it to go slightly this way. So I'm just going to move it like that to about middle ways. And you'll see how far that moves it. So I'm going to tighten all that down, put everything back together. That is how you adjust your windshield washers if they're going too far over to the side, your windshield wipers, and they're going too far over to the side and scuffing up that. Now you see when this thing's all the way down, it is resting perfectly in the cradle, which is exactly what should happen. So I have to put this little piece back in. It should just pop in there. A little bit tight. Let me use both hands. So that's how you adjust windshield wipers and check your drains to make sure they're working properly in a 1991, or I assume up or down, C4 Corvette. Guys, hopefully, I know this has been a very simple video. It's not very technical, but hopefully this will fix the issue if you have your windshield wipers all jacked up on your C4. If not, then Sorry, I don't know what else to do. But thanks for watching, guys. If you're first time to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if this helped you, and have a great day.